Listen and be basically a serving leader. You are here basically, I say CEO is just a title. You're playing a role in an organization, connecting really the dots and listen carefully what people have to say. The people I'm hiring, they are in their area of expertise, smarter, more knowledgeable. Your job as a leader is really connecting those dots and also recognizing big trends, right? Strategically working on the things that we're going to focus on.
Welcome back to the Smart Biotech Scientist. I'm your host, David Brühlmann, and in part one with Abdelaziz Toumi, who is the CEO of Lupin Manufacturing Solutions, we began unraveling India's emerging potential in the global CDMO landscape. But we've only scratched the surface. In this second segment, we'll dive deeper into the Indian CDMO and biomanufacturing landscape. Then we'll explore Lupin's specialized capabilities and finally extract Abdelaziz's most valuable leadership insight from his role as a CEO. Whether you're actively evaluating Indian manufacturing options or simply preparing for the shifting global biotech landscape, these next several minutes deliver insights you can't afford to miss. Let's dive back in. Are you juggling the complexities of CMC development while trying to enjoy the beauty of biotech? Have you ever wondered if there's a way to simplify bioprocessing? Welcome to the Smart Biotech Scientist podcast, where we're diving headfirst into the very challenges you face. We're breaking it down, demystifying the jargon, and giving you the keys to unlock your full potential. I'm your host, David Brühlmann, and I get it. With 15 plus years in the biotech industry, I face the same challenges you do. There's a way to simplify and streamline so you can remove complexity, you can skip trials and errors, deliver without delay your groundbreaking therapy to clinics at market, and still enjoy every single step. Do you want to learn how industry experts and I did it? Grab a cup of coffee and your favorite notebook and pen. Now is the time to take your bioprocessing game to the next level. Let's smarten up biotech. Since you started talking about what's happening inside of Lupin, how you're shaping the culture, I would also change a bit the direction of our conversation and look at the company so that listeners actually know who Lupin is. And because you are building on 5 decades of pharmaceutical expertise. And I found it really exciting reading about the history because the company began as a manufacturing of vitamins and then started to produce drugs to combat tuberculosis. And so can you tell us a bit how you're building on this legacy now in the biotech space?
Lupin did really well, as you said, in the business since more than 50 years, pioneered the anti-tuberculosis market and cost-effective treatment. And most important, with the global outreach. Lupin is number 3 by prescription in the US. So it's a very, very key company in the US and also in Europe and elsewhere, also playing a big role in India, obviously. Over $2 billion of revenues, a very, very strong expertise built in the first place around generics, biosimilars. That's the core business of Lupin. And there is nothing or any technology Lupin would not have invested into. If you happen, David, to come to India, I will really, or any scientist in the world, you should come and visit our R&D center in Pune. I don't know, it compares maybe to the Google Center in California. It's just amazing in terms of capabilities. It's a campus. When I worked at Merck, we designed the R&D campus at Merck, but this is comparable to them. It's just state-of-the-art building, nice capability. We've got labs in everything you can imagine, high-potent, peptide, obviously chemical synthesis, microbial biotech, mammalian biotech, injectables, inhalable. We've just acquired a company, we have acquired a while ago a company in the Netherlands that is working on very, very great technology. Naomi's name. And it's a long-acting technology that's for formulation. We've got very decent formulation technology, everything you can imagine, OSD all the way, injectables. And this legacy is just great. And what we're trying to do, and it makes a ton of sense, is basically using this expertise, these assets, forming an independent organization where we're carving those capabilities all together to avoid any conflict of interest. And that's why we built Lupin Manufacturing Solutions. I'm right now working with my team on rebranding it. It will get a new name. Stay tuned. I think to CPHI Frankfurt. We're coming with a very nice name, and it's really exciting journey to develop a name that actually tells our story, but also where we want to go in the future. And we've got the whole R&D center for chemistry now has been also carved out as part of my organization. So today I'm able, with 200 scientists in Pune, with two state-of-the-art manufacturing sites, one in southern India in Vizag and one in northern India, to support all phases of clinical development all the way to commercial. We can manufacture a small amount in Pune in a GMP environment, but also mid and large amount in the future. And we have all the approval that you can imagine, FDA, WHO. We just passed one FDA approval 2 weeks ago in Dabasha. We have next week a WHO audit, because we manufacture already more than 35 products that are sold to Lupin. Lupin is our client today with service agreements. We're delivering to Lupin APIs, but 20% of our business is going actually to other companies, other generic companies. And we're starting now to build our CDMO business so we can offer all our great assets to innovators. Really excited about that. And at the same time, building on this strong capability, we are also exploring future investment. Like for us, areas of growth is ADCs, because we've got actually everything. We have a high potent plant where we can do the toxin, the linker. We've got actually in Pune protein manufacturing, whatever, if mammalian or microbial, we could do that as well. And my first step is building a small GMP suite, which we are going to need for a product that Lupin want to develop. And we were going to be able to offer very, very soon bioconjugation capabilities, but also combining all this element. So we can offer a one-stop shop out of India.
So that's very exciting, because just to interrupt here, because I think there are not a lot of CDMOs out there that are able to offer one-stop solution for ADCs. And that's the difficulty in managing ADCs, to manage that many partners, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have actually a capability within the Lupin group, because we're developing biologic and biosimilar since more than a decade now. So we collected and we launched product biosimilars already, and we have a rich pipeline that's coming soon. So we have biotech expertise already. It's not in my company right now and within the group. So we can promote that, we can offer that, but also we can leverage on that when it comes to ADCs, for instance. And also we're looking into the peptide field, partnering with other CDMOs to support their supply chain, or eventually also we're developing, as I said, we have R&D capabilities, and eventually looking also into manufacturing. So this is the area of focus for us. Obviously, we have also strong fermentation expertise for small molecule, non-recombinant, because you've got to differentiate. I learned that the last 9 months, because I'm like a biologic guy, I'm used to genetically modified organism, be it microbes or mammalian cells, where you put the gene of interest in there and they will express whatever you're looking for. But there is a non-recombinant piece where you're actually using metabolite of where microbes produce antibiotics or insulin. Another segment for small molecule, we call it non-recombinant. And we're looking in that segment as well, because that's how actually Lupin grow. One of our Indian facility in Tarapur, we have major large-scale capacity that's used for our anti-tuberculosis pipeline. But right now we are making our mind, is it an area where we should also invest as well? But having said that, that segment is less large than compared to the recombinant market, if you.
Well, that's definitely very exciting. I think it's critical as a CDMO to drive innovation, drive R&D, because to establish yourself as a player and acquire more process understanding. You mentioned ADCs. Are there some other technologies, like more digital stuff, you are also working on, and to facilitate also the tech transfer into your facilities and then the accelerate timelines?
That's absolutely key. I do think that the level of digital maturity, probably overall in India, because of the labor cost, can be improved. Unless you are operating a plant that require automation, because simply if you take a biotech, fermenter. You've got to have all the controls in place, fully automated. You can't be doing this manually. You need to control the nutrient, the temperature, the pressure continuously. Otherwise, the microbes will die or the mammalian cells will die. When it comes to chemical synthesis, a lot of it is done semi-manually. And because you fix your valve, you fill, the reaction is done, you put it in the next step. So that's an area we're looking at too. So increasing the level of automation but that's require investment. And then it's always the payoff of investment. That's the challenge when you have a low cost structure. Sometimes it's actually less costly to use humans than actually to automate. But definitely that's an area for us. We're starting actually putting some control loop, increasing the maturity level of our chemical synthesis plant. But what's key is when it comes to digitalization are all the workflow around it. When it comes to quality control, establishing a rigorous quality system. So digitalization play a role as well there. When it comes also to R&D, automating your design of experiment, right? You can automate a lot of stuff to get a certain scale and do many experiments at the same time to find the best route of synthesis, etc. I'm not going to use artificial intelligence, all of that. This is still a long way to go to get there. I think we need to first establish the foundation. But I think it's a journey. I think step by step, we are going to increase our digitalization level, getting a higher and higher level of automation, combined actually with all this new technology that I just described. That's why anyway a high level of automation. But also if you think, for example, about peptide manufacturing, you have so many nice new technologies that are running continuously where you need actually a certain level of automation. All this combined with a data lake where you collect all your data, where you can monitor, where you can better find root causes for your problem very fast, where you can also very fast actually analyze stuff. So that helps us with increasing your productivity. Today, if you have a kappa, it takes you maybe 30 days to get close. But I'm pretty sure if you have ways to collect faster data, analyze faster, you can shorten this. And this is time to market. You can close your kappa faster, you can turn around faster, you can sell more. So digitalization is playing a key role. And that's a huge opportunity, especially if you are operating in a very cost competitive space. That's why you can even add more value.
Definitely exciting times coming up. Be fun to have this conversation in 5 years again and see where this will lead to. But as we're about to wrap up, I would love to have a quick question about leadership, because now you're leading a big organization. What is the number one leadership advice you could give us?
Listen and be basically a serving leader. You are here basically, I say CEO is just a title. You're playing a role in an organization, connecting really the dots and listen carefully what people have to say. The people I'm hiring, they are in their area of expertise, smarter, more knowledgeable. Your job as a leader is really connecting those dots and also recognizing big trends, right? Strategically working on the things that we're going to focus on. I found it when I was in middle management position. I was always thinking about my manager. How can they not decide? How can they taking so much time? When you are doing it yourself and you're being in leadership position, it's not as easy as you might think. You need to weigh so many things. You've got different stakeholders, being investors, be it your employees, being your neighbors. So how you get those interests all like served in a good way? But how can you develop an environment where everyone feels heard, developed, taken seriously? So that's, I think, what's really important. And I will start always, obviously, when you do strategy, start always with the why. That's important. So why are we here in the business? What are we trying to solve as problem? What's our value? When you work with people, so what drives them? What makes them bring out all the energy? Because we all as human beings want to belong to a community, we want to deliver something together. And that's, I think, the leadership lessons. And then I'm operating in an environment where I'm not sure every day, am I taking the right decision? Is it the right thing to say or not to say? Because there are still cultural nuances. Even though I was born in Paris, I lived in Tunisia, North Africa, I studied in Germany, I lived in Switzerland and in the US. And now in India, there's so many different cultures, and so it's sometimes difficult to, as you said before, read between the lines. So that's why I think that's why you need to be careful and listen. And work hard every day. Motivate your people around you. and take step after step. This is a business where it's a marathon. It's not like a sprint where you can just do a lot in like 2 months. If somebody tells you that, don't believe. This is a long-term investment where you need to build it step by step. And then obviously work hard to convince customer, motivate employees, get also your investors. Of course, we are part of the Lupin group. It's a key stakeholder is, of course, Lupin, who are, of course, still focusing on product. And we are entering now a service kind of business, which is extremely complementary. But of course, group is looking for a return on investment. So we've got to deliver on that as well. And then also think one thing is people say what's really important is people taking the time to select the right leaders. And that was my job, David, the last 9 months to recruit a team. It sounds like recruiting people is simple. It's not. Finding the right people that fit together. And that today, if you take my leadership team and the second level that we hired, we have more than 300 years of CDMO experience all combined. And these people worked for really big companies, Indian and multinationals. So I'm excited building that team. You got a new challenge. These people are coming also from different backgrounds, have been exposed to different culture. And the first thing I did 4 weeks ago is getting to an offsite, few days spending in a very nice location outside of the office to align all this. Where do we want to go as a team? What's our vision, aspiration? And as we're building the brand together, it feels like everyone owned the company in a way, right? And you get then much more motivation.
Wow, this has been fantastic. Abdel, thank you so much for letting us into the exciting CDMO world in India, to give us a sneak peek of what's going on in India. From all what we have covered today, what is the number one takeaway you want us to walk away from our conversation?
I think there are emerging global trends that are pointing to a great opportunity for Indian CDMOs. And Indian CDMO does not mean it's owned by India, but these are all global corporation. It's not a local business. You're serving the whole universe. And it's not even excluded that as we are growing, we might acquire also your location in the US, in Europe, because certain areas you've got to be even closer to your customers, certain operating steps. So while we have a very strong base in India, we still need to work on attracting more talent. We will need some technology transfer from countries that are ahead of us. And this is possible. You can get experts to join the journey, support that development, especially if we are venturing into ADCs. So this is a new area for India. There's a lot of expertise in Europe and US we can tap into. But I think you will attract good talent. And takeaways, you need, of course, to keep innovating, keep investing in the right modalities. In the CDMO business, size matter in this space. You can't be staying small and hoping, because you need to grow with your customer as they grow the journey. These are the two really key takeaways. India is a great place to be. Huge opportunity because we are realizing you need to diversify your pipeline. You need to use more location. Think about the COVID situation where we run into a huge problem because we're relying on one single source. And then catching up in terms of technology. And I think this space is just vibrant, is developing really, really well, but it's required ecosystem partners all over the place. Globally, it's not going to be just an India kind of thing. It's going to be global network and well connected to the whole world. That's a major takeaway for me.
That's exciting. Really awesome to see what's going on in India. Abdel, where can people get a hold of you?
Can reach me out, LinkedIn, for example. I'm very, very active there. So you can reach out anytime, LinkedIn, email address, you can find everything. I think I'm traveling the world. I will be at CPHI in Germany as an opportunity to meet and greet. Probably I'm going to go to see China eventually. We're going also to outsourcing camp. There are a couple of events in San Diego we're joining. All this is on our webpage. And if you want to follow me on LinkedIn or connect with me, reach out anytime. I will be more than happy to connect and explore and answer any questions. If you want some tips in Mumbai.
Excellent, Abdel. I will leave all the information in the show notes, so please use this opportunity to connect with Abdel. And Abdel, thank you so much for being on the show today, for sharing your passion. It has been a huge, huge pleasure.
Thank you so much, David, for the invitation, and looking forward to see you soon in Switzerland.
Absolutely.
Au revoir.
So do I. And there you have it. We have covered crucial ground in today's conversation, from India's strong R&D and manufacturing ecosystem to Lupin's specialized ADC capabilities and cross-cultural leadership insights. These actionable strategies could transform how you approach CDMO partnerships and position your biologics for faster, more efficient development. Are you struggling with biologics development delays and mounting costs? Schedule a free 20-minute consultation with me. We'll pinpoint your project's bottlenecks and uncover your best opportunity to accelerate development without sacrificing quality. Click the link in the show notes to book your call today. This is David Brühlmann, and until next time, keep making biotech smarter, more efficient, and most importantly, more enjoyable. See you next week for another bite-sized episode packed with actionable insights. All right, smart scientists. That's all for today on the Smart Biotech Scientist podcast. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on your journey to bioprocess mastery. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. By doing so, we can empower more scientists like you. For additional bioprocessing tips, visit us at smartbiotechscientist.com. Stay tuned for more inspiring biotech insights in our next episode. Until then, let's continue to smarten up biotech.